name is Emma. Welcome to Emma Rosen Books. I wanted to do a bit of a life update for you because since I think April, when I last did this, a lot has changed. The reason I did a life update for you in April was because lockdown had just started and so loads had changed back then. But today I wanted to check in with you and talk about, since some of the restrictions have started to lift, the impact that that's had, the kind of projects I've got coming up, what's happened. So yeah, kind of time to touch base. Before I get started, I just wanted to say I hope you're all right. Yeah, hopefully things are starting to look up for you guys too. I know that, in the UK we've got our new 6 people guidance that everybody's very confused about, and obviously that's had an impact. But on the whole, I hope since the big restrictions have started to lift that things are looking a bit sunnier for everyone. So yeah, so when I did that video back in April, for us, I think we were very optimistic, but it did have a big impact. And not as much as for some people. So for us, we had 3 children at home as the schools closed. And so that was the biggest thing, because it meant that somebody had to look after them, and that somebody couldn't be, the grandparents couldn't have them or anything because of social distancing. So my husband is the one who pays the bills, and so it made sense for us that I would do most of the homeschooling and the childcare and all of that. Anyone who says that writers are rolling in it, very few I think are. So what happened, as I say, he worked the majority of the time. He works very flexibly, so he was able to still give me a little bit of creative time. But it is a challenge for me, to be able to work when I can hear the kids, I can hear them playing, shouting, screaming, whatever. I can't get my head in the right place. And when I work, it takes me a bit of time just to get into that frame of mind of right, I'm ready, let's get started, and in that kind of methodical working mindset, to the point where when I was a teacher, for that it was the commute was my sort of, I'd stick on my music and sing along, and it's like a process I have to go through. And now I kind of have to do a bit of tidying and cleaning and write out my to-do list. I have my stuff, and then I need peace and quiet so I'm uninterrupted and can just do what I need to do when I need to do it. So working under different conditions meant that I wasn't as productive. So although when I made that life update video it was all quite optimistic, I think, I haven't watched back, I think we're all in shock a bit. It had a huge impact on the number of hours I was able to work and my productivity. But it also caused us to just massively reflect on our lifestyle in general, and our goals and just everything, which I think was the case for everybody, and it was a challenging time. And yeah, I think, we're all in the same boat there, we're sort of coming out of it and starting to reflect and think about it, and hopefully kind of make changes to our lives where we've realised that we could. I don't know. Anyway, so fast forward to the present day. So my children have just gone back to school, which is the biggest change. So although restrictions have been easing for a little while, a couple of months, that for me is the biggest thing, because to be honest, once I wasn't homeschooling them, that had a big change, because I was able to sometimes do a bit of work while they were playing nicely, and just get a bit more done and have a bit less drain on the things I had to organise. When you're having to homeschool 3 children and have everything organised and ready and get them motivated to do that, that does take quite a lot out of you. So it definitely, once it was the holidays, was better, but now with them being back, it's just a huge difference. So my older 2 kids are at school, my youngest is only 3, so she's at nursery. We did think, and it was my light at the end of the tunnel scenario, that she would be at nursery full time, but actually we're not eligible for that. She's only eligible for 15 hours, and realistically with my business I can't pay for her her nursery to, that doesn't work. So we can only do like the free childcare really, for me to be able to work, if that makes sense. So she is in nursery, and then my husband also can sort of move things around with his work so that he's still able to give me a little bit more time on top of that. And as always, I also work evenings and weekends, ridiculous amounts of time. But just having that like core time when I can do the main sort of writing and admin and creative tasks, so that then I can do the sort of things like social media and, I don't know, the easy stuff like out of hours if the kids are around, like when I don't have to focus, it's a lot easier. So that's the main change in our situation, which has meant that I'm able to get on with a few projects. So over lockdown, I was predominantly working on a children's book, which I was illustrating myself. I've tried this before, I should know better. I illustrated about 2/3 of it, and then got to a point where I was like, this isn't the standard that I set for myself, although in theory I could have published it with those illustrations. They weren't awful, but they weren't the professional standard that I set for myself. So I have parked that project despite the fact I spent many, many hours on it. My illustrations ultimately will be sort of I can't think of the word, like a guide for whoever I end up getting to illustrate that book. I can show them what I had in my mind, and then they can do a good job of it. But I can't really finance an illustrator at the moment, and lots of things that mean that although I will pursue that project later down the line, I need to just shelve that, which was so hard to say, this is what I've done over lockdown. This was the work that my husband, well, it was work, I don't know why I'm work. This was the work that my husband was, sorry, the door's creaking. My husband was giving up his time, not the only thing, but one of the things that he was giving up his time for. And I've made the choice to say, I also need to kind of shelve it for my own sanity, because sometimes I need to step away from things, and then when I go back to them, I can do a better job. So, yeah, that was unfortunate. Aside from that, I was working on kind of growing my YouTube channel and obviously putting content out on it, and various admin bits and pieces and sorting out this and that kind of, boring, unexciting stuff. So yeah, that kind of left me at the end of lockdown kind of thinking, well, I haven't achieved anything. I mean, I had achieved stuff because I had worked on, you know what I mean? I'd expected to have like a creative project coming out of it, and I didn't. So that was a big part of why I decided to produce a hardback of Lily the Limpet. It was something that was quite straightforward to do. As I said on my video, my unboxing video, once I realised that Ingram Spark were offering case laminate, which was what I wanted, I could go ahead with that, and then it felt like I had done something because I had something tangible, even though I have done lots of untangible things over lockdown. So yeah, that's coming out next week. The hardback is coming out next week, so that's really good. And I would like, because my focus with that side of what I've been working on is to increase the formats for my existing books, but then also in the future, then I know how to do it for future books. And I would love to be able to have Milk in a hardback form, but I don't think I can do it because I didn't design the cover, and the people who did design the cover have gone bankrupt. So I don't know, I might be stuck there. But anyway, one thing at a time. So Lily is out. I am also back on the audiobook bandwagon. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that last year, I think, I worked on producing an audiobook, and it didn't work for various reasons, but largely technical. Largely my microphone was the biggest problem. So over lockdown, one of the things I did was to research lots of things to do with audiobooks so that I could revisit this. I bought a new microphone. I looked at other technical stuff, which I'll talk about in a future video. That meant that I could have a look at doing that again. So I am in the process of working on some audiobooks, which I will, like it's a big surprise, I'm acting like it's a mystery. Ooh, what books could it be of? I've already published 2. So let's start with the mystery. I have been working on an audiobook of Lily the Limpet, the reason being it's shorter, so I can experiment with it, make sure the files work, you know, make sure that all the technical stuff works before I embark on a big project again. And if that all works and goes really well, then obviously you'll hear about it really soon because it's practically done. And then hopefully I can start working on milk behind the scenes, so that I can have audiobooks of my books as well, so that I can increase my audience as much as I can. I know that there's a lot of people who only listen to audiobooks. I go through phases where I really only read audiobooks. I haven't done for a while, but there are definitely times when it's just the easiest format for me to have because, you know, you can listen on the go. So for me, audiobook has always been important, but I just really struggled technically last year. So with any luck, that's now gonna work. It might not, but anyway, let's be optimistic. So that's another thing that I've been working on, sort of as restriction, like over the last couple of weeks, basically. So, but now that the kids are back at school, I've really been able to like hit it running. And then what else? So Hardback's coming out, working on audiobooks. So I have a work in progress, which I have like announced, well, I've announced that I have one on my social media, and I'm not going to give you more details right now. So currently I'm on the 2nd edit. I'm going to be very soon asking for beta readers. I don't yet have a schedule for when it's going to be out. I'm aiming at end of December, January-ish, but I haven't inquired about editing or, you know, I don't know anybody else's timescale to be able to fit that in and actually know when it's going to be out. So I haven't set any kind of firm release date, but in my head, sort of 3-4 months-ish is where I'm aiming. I don't want to tell you more about it because I just want to get further down the line before I tell you all about it. But sorry, it's my dog. I'm really pleased with it. Again, it was something I've worked on for about the last month as things have got a bit easier. The writing went amazingly well. I just sort of wrote it, which, I mean, that's unbelievable. The editing's going really well. I'm feeling really confident about it. It will fit really well into my business. And it's kind of given me, because I feel confident about it, it's increased my confidence, especially after the knock on my confidence over lockdown, that I can do this. It's made me like, yeah, this book's good and I'm proud of it. And that then once that one's out, I feel confident to work on. I've got 2 other one project that's like rumbling on in the background and another one that I was working on at the beginning of last year that I took a break from because I was struggling with it. So yeah, I'm going to be revisiting kind of all those old things that needed, you know, a bit more work because I can do this. Yeah, so that's on the go. So at the moment I'm sort of editing, recording, YouTube, with the time that I have. The nice thing is that after so much time, where time has become so precious because of the impact of lockdown, I am so much more productive. I feel like before lockdown I'd got a bit kind of, not ambivalent, I don't know, just a little bit unmotivated in some respects, and just found it a bit hard to get going on particularly writing stuff, really, just because I was kind of struggling to get what I wanted out. So as I say, now I've got a project, I feel better about it. So then the other side of business stuff is that I was running school visits, which obviously all just had vanished. I had a few that were booked that never happened because of lockdown. So now the schools are back. I mean, I am available for school visits now, and I have sent information out and I have information on my website, but I mean, schools aren't really having visitors. Schools are struggling enough without worrying about external people. So, but you know, it's out there. And if anybody does want me to do a book reading or something like that, you can look on my website for information, because I'm offering some virtual stuff now, which means that it doesn't only have to be in the area that I live, because, you know, I could do it globally. But yeah, so that side of my business, which I'd really pushed at the beginning of the year and was really focused on, is strained, but you know, that'll pick up. But that's a shame. And then events, the same. I had a number of selling events. It's the dog again. What is she doing? I had a number of selling events that I had booked in, which all were cancelled. And again, a lot of events aren't kind of getting going yet. A lot of things have been cancelled or are still being cancelled, or you know, you see something pop up and then it's like, oh no, actually we're not going to run this. So things are still a bit all over their place, but I am beginning to get events. Events are so central to what I do, because you know, as an indie, a lot of people haven't heard of me, don't know me. It's hard to get out there. So being at an event and actually talking to people and selling books, it's a really, really important part of my business in terms of actually selling books, in terms of actually making money from my books. Events are huge. So as I say, it's starting to creep back and I'm starting to look for opportunities. So those two sides, the school stuff and the event stuff, yeah, it's nice to feel a bit more positive because it is increasing, but it is still frustrating that was, I mean, the events as well was such a massive part of what I was focusing on at the beginning of the year, and it's just frustrating. But no, it's picking up now. You know, so in general, everything's picking up. I've got plenty to do while I'm working, which helps me to be productive. My attitude is really optimistic, and I've got loads going on, and basically any time that my husband's like, oh, you know, I've got the kids for a bit, did you know, have you got stuff to do? I'm like, yes, I've always got stuff to do. So yeah, it's really good. For our personal, like, big picture, whole life stuff, we have, as I said, spent lockdown kind of thinking about our lifestyle, and the biggest things for us to come from it is, firstly, I've talked about this before on here, but we were those people who were like constantly out doing stuff, going places, you know, and now we don't feel that need. And that has two benefits. One is that, you know, all like the clubs and activities, and yes, we'll sign the kids up to you know, we've clamped down on all of that. You know, the kids are tired enough from school. We've really recognised, I mean, we kind of knew, but I think sometimes it takes a bit of a shock to make you do something about it. You know, school is tiring enough for the children. So anything on top of that needs to be stuff they either desperately want to do or is, you know, really beneficial in some way, or, you know, we've just toned everything down and really assessed what was important. You know, I mean, some stuff still isn't running at the moment, but yeah, we have reassessed all the like extracurricular stuff that the kids do, but also the things that when we like take them out for the day, and thinking about the impact on like their tiredness. And like anybody, you know, they need time to just do nothing. I love time doing nothing. I don't get time doing nothing, but I love it. So yeah, just that kind of de-stress time, making sure they've got plenty of time to just play and chill out, it's definitely been a big focus for us. We've also discovered, what I've discovered, this is more my thing, that the kids are fine just being at home for the day and, you know, not really doing anything, because I was always that person who's like, oh God, don't leave me with the kids all day with nothing to do, and would always try and find activities, places to take them, would always like go out and do something. And now I'm like, no, it's fine, you know, we'll just chill out, and we don't need a like set structure to the day. I am like structure lady. I need to wake up. I literally wake up and go, right, today I'm doing this. So this is like huge for me to be able to say, no, you know, it's cool. We'll just kick back and relax. I mean, that's massive for me. So yeah, that's kind of big mindset change. So for me, this more comes from my perspective. I love the sea, as you know, and we definitely don't go to the beach as much as I would like. And the lifestyle I would like to lead is kind of going to the sea, drinking a coffee by the ocean, or like just going and having breakfast there, or just going with nothing in mind other than just being by the sea, going for a swim, going for a walk, going out on a paddleboard. I've never been paddleboarding, but I'm sending good vibes to, you know, the people that will be selling the paddleboard of my dreams. I want that kind of slightly bohemian, relaxed, outdoory life. My husband is more like your outdoorsy. He likes camping, he likes walking, mine is very much ocean based. He's more like anywhere outside. So we have over lockdown definitely kind of changed our ways a little bit and started to be more outdoorsy. We've camped loads, we've gone and had just like chilled out days by the sea. And we've had loads of conversations, particularly led by me, of me saying, this is what I want from life. This, how we were living before, where we were just, right, I need to work, let's do this thing, let's take the kids here, let's do this, was just, I mean, I've always been like that, and I've always known it's unsustainable, and I've always struggled with it. But we've now realised that we can live another way, because to me it was like, no, we have to keep going, we don't have to keep going. So we've just slowed down, relaxed, trying to enjoy, oh my god, the dog moving again. Honestly, this is what I have to live with. We're just relaxing more, and being outdoors more, and enjoying the simple things, you know, just being together, enjoying each other's company, going for walks, going for bike rides, and it's just so much better for us. And I really hope that it continues and we don't get suckered back into the kind of fast lifestyle and unsustainability of all of that, and that we just kind of enjoy what we have, enjoy just life without it always having to be about going here and doing that. And as I say, you know, work looks like, now that things are lifting, providing that everything doesn't go back the way that it is, touch wood, it won't, and that we, you know, onwards and upwards. So, yeah, a bit rambly, but I just wanted to fill you in on the fact that I'm working on a load of new stuff, that things have changed. I'm back to working probably pretty much how I was before lockdown, doing like probably 3 days, like focus days, and then also bits here and there. So maybe more, no more like 4, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, being able to work more, that, you know, we've reflected and all of that. Please do let me know how things have changed for you, how are things looking for you. If you work on like big projects, how's that changing? If you're a writer, like how are things for you? Whoever you are, whatever you do, let me know. How are things now? And are you feeling reflective? Are you feeling positive, or maybe not so much? I really hope that things are looking up for you, like I said. But yeah, let me know how things are. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Keep your eyes out for my new projects as I release them. And subscribe for more videos like this one if you haven't already.